Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. All right. Once again, I'm gonna be using a video from YouTube. I've got to give credit where credit is due, of course. This is Fair Use Act disclaimer. It says copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research, all of which I am doing. All right, fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, and we don't want to do that, all right? So, yes, I in no way will profit from this. I'm just using this as a teaching tool, all right? So here we are, in this video here, the scalding pot, all right? And this is from the channel Africa Diaspora News Channel. Well, you know, we're not African, we're not Hamitic, so therefore the Africans are not Africans, all right, when you understand where that name came from, all right? So, what we have here, and I'm sure there are many stories that we'll never know on this side, anyway, of Edomites, so-called white people, passing their stories down to their children and grandchildren in this case, telling of what they and their parents and their parents' parents did to our people. But this one came to the surface, and what she's going to go into, of what this girl was told when she was 10 years old. So we're talking about 1970 when she was told this, and she kept it hush hush all this time. 53 years now. See, they like to try to have us sweep all our misery and pain under the rug, because at the end of the day, you have to understand that to them, we are not human. To them, we are not human. That's why you have all this push to have what afflicts them at the forefront. All right? And really it's been turned upside down. All right? Because these are the savages. These are the beasts. These people are the lowlifes. The so-called white man, the nation of Edom. And that's even when you go into the what is that book? The Learned Elders of Zion. I can't remember the whole title. When they tell you in one of those chapters, they tell you they have to, all incidents of, you know, their bad behavior, I'm just paraphrasing, you know, they have to you know, cover that up and you know, put everybody else's dirty you know, dirty laundry out there, all right? And they've been very good at doing it. And one of their main weapons, the media. That's a huge weapon in their arsenal. It goes hand in hand. All right, a lot of the things that they did to us, they could not have done without the aid of the media, keeping it quiet, all right? And it really helped them in pushing that Holocaust bullshit, all right? Got everybody feeling sorry for them, all right? And it made them, and continues to enrich them. But with us, hey, you know, that's scripture, and we're going to get that. But let's go ahead and roll this. I've, you know, flat my jaws here for over 4 minutes. So let's go ahead.
As I was on TikTok not too long ago, I happened across a story from a white woman in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and it looks like it was somebody who was doing a reaction video to it. Well, she told a very gruesome story that her grandfather actually told her. North Carolina, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and how
there was this black man who had done some malfeasance or crossed some sort of line, and all the people in that neighborhood, it was the Box Mountain neighborhood, if you know what's to say, and you know
Listen
that.
to this shit.
They were brought together, and there was a big old hog scalding pot. For those of you who aren't Southern, didn't grow up on a farm, a scalding pot is what you put the pork in, the pig after it's been slaughtered, to scald off the skin and the hair off of the skin so that you can process the meat. It's a pretty grotesque thing.
Yeah.
Well, apparently what they did was they took this living black person and they tied him up and they boiled him alive in this pot. And everyone in this little neighborhood, it was a big party. And this was in the early 70s, 1970s, when the story was told to me by my grandfather. I was under 10. His point was, I shouldn't view black people as human. So when you're fighting this new wave of fascism, this racist crap that's coming mainly from the South, but everywhere, it's in the Pacific Northwest, it's up north, it's all over, it's in Europe. Remember that who you were fighting. You were fighting people who see you as less than human. And when you do not believe someone is human, you don't have any qualms about doing things.
Nope.
Know your enemy. We need to get ready for the fight of humanity's life. The soul of our entire species is on the line. I challenge every white person
you're done.
who's ever heard a story like Scalding Pot to share. Spread the word.
Oh, you're done. For our species. No. Hey, Obadiah. Read the book of Obadiah. They're done. All right. But see, all this coming out now, and this is why. If you can, stay away from these fucking Christians. I say that because these Christians amongst our people, so-called, are under such a spell. If left up to them, we'll be here for ages and ages because, again, something she said, know your enemy. And that has been a problem of our people. Why? Because Christianity, as it was taught to our people, and that's going to be one of my next videos as to why that happened. You know, there's one, well, I'm not going to spoil it, but as it was taught, again, Christianity as it was taught to us was done that way on purpose. And you'll see, and we're out there on the line talking to these Christians, you can just see that, it's like that spell. You see that glazed over look, like almost like a punch-drunk boxer, or, I mean, you know what? Hey, you just hope that they just, at some point, just leave. You know? That's a spell that they're under. Alright? They have been purposely blinded. Alright? That's all it is. And there's plenty of scriptures on that. Isaiah 29 and 10. Start with that. Romans 13. Is that 11? Hold on. These are the things we're trying to tell them. Hey, this man is no good. There are no redeemable qualities of an Edomite. I was talking to some Akim just the other day about that. All right, there are none. All right, that's why Obadiah. But see, you're not gonna have any of this told to you in these wicked ass churches. These things are set up. These places, these institutions were set up as a control mechanism. All right, let's get that, because I might have inverted it like I do sometimes, but not intentionally. All right. This is Romans 11 and 7. It says, "What then? Israel, Yasharallah, hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded." 8. According as it is written, The Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. Just simple mathematics as far as that goes. We have been over here since what? Northern Kingdom, you're talking about 1492 and on. So roughly, I think, when did Columbus, was it? Sometime, let's see, was it August, was it October? So we're almost 531 years in as it pertains to the Northern Kingdom. So by the time that the Southern Kingdom got over here, all right, so everybody likes to, actually it was sometime in the 1500s when some of us were brought over here, but let's just go with the 1619. All right, so 400 and what? 4 years this year. So let's see. Yeah, we've had a lot of experience dealing with this piece of shit, and yet you're still thinking it's going to get better. Oh, if I just get more education. Not realizing he's never going to give you an out as so long as he is in power. And I say that because this thing with reparations now, if that were that simple, you got to understand, our enemy knows who we are, and he's had all these centuries to figure us out. What makes us tick? He's able to push those buttons. He knows when to push those buttons. Can't think of a better example than these protests the last several years. Manipulation like you wouldn't believe. And a lot of you still won't believe it. Yes, our people were manipulated, right? But it didn't go as far as they had hoped. I will say that, all right? And I say that because of the incidents of mysterious pallets of bricks just appearing out of nowhere. Especially, it was an example here in the district. A little over 3 years ago now, they were caught downtown. And fortunately, some of our people, I remember this woman that was on the news, this young Israelite, this young Jake, she pointed out to some, what are they, Moabites, Ammonites, I can't remember, that came from the suburbs and were, you know, defacing property and shit. And she said, "What are you doing? We don't do that. What do you don't even live here." And then there were instances of, on camera, where you had agent provocateurs paying people, yes, suggesting that they do this, they do that. So we know this is all staged. All right. So with our people, and then you have these boule pieces of shit that are set up over us to control the masses. This is why this is never going to work. You have the illusion of inclusion, as someone said, and that's what it is. A lot of us fail to realize that we're under an illusion, thereby a lot of us are under a delusion, self or otherwise. All right? You think you have no idea what's coming. And that's what we're out here on the highways and byways trying to let you know what the fuck is going on. And never, ever trust this man. Never. Unfortunately, a lot of our people have this incident in Alabama, all right, where Jake just thinks everything's a fucking joke. Let me tell you something. The way that was handled, and this is probably going to happen regardless of the outcome, especially the amount of tension and memes and all this that came about of it. These Edomites are plotting. Believe you me, they are not going to take shit like that hand down. All right. Oh no. Whether we ever hear about it or not, oh, they got some shit in the works. All right. Trust me on that one. See, you, our people, you play too fucking much. All right. All this shit our people went through here. I was just watching a special on PBS before camp yesterday, talking about the Green Book and all that. You know, the migration from the South had to do with that. They talked about the incident with Thurgood Marshall in 1938, where a motherfucker was gonna about ready to do him. All right. You know, in regards to the sundown towns and all that. Yes, he was caught up in a situation like that. But it has never ended, and it never will. And that's why it's a blessing to have your eyes open for the Holy Spirit to work with you to see these things and not be like the rest of our people out here. Just, oh man, as long as I got this house, the white picket fence, which is nothing wrong with that per se, but you need to know what time you're in. All right, that's shit like that. That's that. You know, this shit is getting ready to 2 Peter 3rd chapter. You know, 10 and 11, knowing what time you're in. That's why I open up every video the way I open it up, because time is fucking short. This devil is making his moves right in front of people's eyes. I'm watching, you know, NTD, Epic News, and they're like, see, a lot of our people are unaware of the war that's going on in front of your face. You've got these, let's call it what it is, nationalists versus these globalists, all right, which just happen to be represented by these two parties. We're looking at this because motherfuckers are saying, we see what the WEF, NATO, and all this really stands for, all right? And you've got presidents that they know that were set up, like Clinton, you know, his mentor, things like this that they're seeing, oh shit, you know, and they're seeing that this was planned from way back when, all right? And that led to the position that we're in now. This is one of the things, and first of all, our people should be looking to Yahweh Shai for help. These motherfuckers, they, hey, let me put it this way. These people are looking for Trump as their savior. Fuck Trump. What's going to happen? I look at this as they're trying to bring him, what's that expression? They're trying to break him, all right? Because they see that he is so popular, and they understand that the more they do to this guy, it's probably going to work against them. So what I am getting at is all those predictions that seem to, because we know some of these producers are insiders, The Simpsons, all right? And we know that everybody expected that, you know, certain scene to where they had done away with him. I'm trying to put it, you know, that might be the final way they have to end up, you know, getting him out the way. Because I do remember the case with Jesse Ventura, and when he was governor of Minnesota, and he told a story about him and his chief executive officer. They were called to the carpet. He was like, who is this, you know, kind of, you know, hey, he's fresh in, you know, at that level, you know. I think that was he mayor for, wait a minute. I don't know if that was his first elected position, I can't remember. But in any case, this motherfucker was, you imagine people in front of you in like a horseshoe half, like a horseshoe configuration, all right, half circle, whatever. And you and your executive officer were like, what the fuck is this? And they were like grilling him, and he was like, it made him feel uneasy. I mean, of course, check out the story for yourself. And he was like, oh, this fuck. And he found out that one of the high-ranking officials, that's when he understood that, we've all heard that the CIA is, their mission is, as their mission statement supposedly says, they, work on foreign soil. They don't have anything to do with, the internal. He said that's bullshit. Because he found out. So he called a buddy of his who has passed away in the last several years, Rick Mancuso, I think his name was. He was the founder of SEAL Team 6. And the point I'm trying to make in telling you this is all that you've been taught as to, the government, how it works, that's bullshit. These motherfuckers do whatever the fuck they want. And that's when he made up his mind, talking about Jesse Ventura. I'm serving this one term, I'm fucking out. But he asked his buddy, Mancuso, he said, he told him what went on. And he said, well, what the fuck is this? What's the fuck going on? And the guy told him, he said, well, I've been out of the game for a little while, but from what you're telling me, they didn't expect you to win. Well, here he is. He's a former wrestler. He's an actor. He wasn't one of the insiders. All right. So this shit is all rigged. All right. But our people have stars in their eyes, and if left up to them, we'll be here for fucking ever. So hey, fuck the 2/3. But this is why we say this. All right, because our people are so caught up, and they want to, more than anything, be loved, but you want the love of your greatest, your mortal enemy. Mortal enemy is someone who's trying to and wants to kill you, by definition. All right? You're never going to be, hold on. You don't understand this hatred. This is actually biblical. All right? Sirach, or Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10, it says, never, what does never mean? Never trust thine enemy. Has not this man, these people, these lowlifes, proven over and over and over again to be our enemy? And let me tell you something else. He has been pretty, this is how, the shit that this motherfucker has done behind the scenes to ensure that everybody else hates you as well. Yes. Immigrants have come forth and said when they were, coming into the country, they take their tests and all this, and motherfucker, they're interviewed, and they were told not to mess with us. They were told that we were lazy, we were violent. Of course, they're not telling these people what they did and the things that they have done, or their part in why we are like this. All right. And a lot of them come over here, they stay a little while, and they're like, that's not, they lied. But, hey, they're our enemies too, But this is what this piece of shit has done. He just, hey, Revelation 12th chapter, read it, all right? Understand that the woman is us. All right, the nation of Israel. And when you get down to 10, this is what he does. See what you're, setting us up all along. See, these are your people. See what they're doing. Look at them. And meanwhile, he put up all these obstacles and, trying to get us to go off. That's why Isaiah 14:1-2 is there. All right. So keep continuing on. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Isn't iron always going to rust? Yes. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. In other words, this motherfucker is good, all right, at acting. Why do you think Hollywood is there? All right. This is, again, when I said mortal enemy, remember that, right? So I'm not going to keep that right there. Let's go back to the Old Testament. All right. A prayer for the overthrow of the wicked. Who is the wicked? The nation of Edom. All right. Go to Malachi 1st chapter, verses 1-4. All right. These are the wicked. All right. Psalms 10, verse 10. It said, he croucheth and humbleth himself. All right. Like I said, he's a good actor, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He has said in his heart, the Most High hath forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it. This is the arrogance of this bastard. He has put the Most High in such a small box because he thinks he is on par, even greater. 2 Thessalonians, 2nd chapter. That's the period we're in now. Read it. All right. 12. Arise, O Most High, Yahweh. That's the Most High's name. O power, lift up thine hand. Forget not the humble, which is us. 13. Wherefore doth the wicked contemn the Most High? And he does. Let's go and let's look at contempt. All right. Let's look at that. Strong's H5006. Naatazah, to spurn, despise, abhor. We go to that word abhor. All right. Let's see. Oh, what do we have down here? Despise, provoke. These are the actions of this devil. This is what he does. Blaspheme. All right. To scorn. All right. He constantly provokes the Most High's anger, especially when it comes to his people. All right, let's go back. All right. He hath said in his heart, thou wilt not require it. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite, to requite it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find done. All right. The Most High Yahweh is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land. And it won't be too long before that indeed comes about, because he don't believe he's going into slavery. All right, but hey, that's him. All right. Verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. And this is another way Jake, all right, because this was something I was taught early on. Never be in the midst of these motherfuckers, he, and ha. All right, you need to be able to sense to danger. All right, because again, these people hate us. They continue to prove it each and every day. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. What happened from the Renaissance, from the beginning of the Renaissance on? What did they do? All right, they did a Yahquab. All right, they supplanted us. Why? Because we kept having these motherfuckers around. All right, lest he seek, of course, ultimately that was the Most High. All right, lest he seek to take that seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. But as in cases like that, at that point it's too late. 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? You're not supposed to feel sorry for anybody like that. Look at Steve Irwin and some of these others. You know, you were warned. 14. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? Jake wants to be loved so bad by the person that has never shown him any love. That's, you know, hey, I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, but that's some deep psychological wounds there. All right. It says, for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit, making all these empty promises. You'll vote for me, and they never do anything for us. When that Kamala Harris has said, she just came out straight, you expect me to do? Well, actually she said, I'm not going to do anything, you know, paraphrasing, of course, exclusively for black people. But you notice everybody else gets a reward. That's why you people, you vote in this Democratic, you know, hey, Lyndon Johnson said it best, I'll have these niggers voting Democrat for the next 200 years. And so far, you're holding to that. And you're getting absolutely nothing for everybody else gets something. It's so fucking sad, man. And you wonder why people laugh at us. They mock us. They stick their nose up at us. So sad. But they're not coming, they're not being attacked from every direction like us. I'll say that. You know, they're not under the curses. You know, but hey, they'll realize that. All right. Let's see. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. It happens all the time, especially with these entertainers. I was watching the special also on PBS about Little Richard. And man, living that life, that money, and one person that was witnesses to it, you know, his life had said, I can't remember, it was, I know one was a woman he was dealing with, but yeah, she was the one who made the comment, that, you know, she never saw such a sad person. A lot of people, especially Jake, that's why I made the comment earlier about, you know, their eyes are just, you know, the scriptures about talking about, you know, fatness. And in this case, in this context, Jake's eyes are just so full of, you know, want for the so-called good life that you're blinded to what comes along with that. And that was the case when they were, you know, in the Little Richard documentary I was watching, you know, and not realizing that not everybody you think has your back, because they don't. And that's what we're talking about here. Yeah, he gives appearance, like I said, the so-called white man is a great actor. A hypocrite also. Alright. 17, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, he shall undermine thee. Yet shall he undermine thee. Salah. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. All the stories, if you could talk to people that have been in the business, whether it's music, Hollywood, those stories probably make you cry. You know, they had, as Jake, you know, because everybody, you know, it's so basic, you know. They know that you're in dire straits because they're responsible for us being in those dire straits. And you want to make it. A lot of Jake would say, you know, I want to get my, especially with basketball, you know, single parent, usually. You know, I want to get my mother a house and all that. So, you know, as far as your motivation goes, and you tend to be focused on that and not looking at what's around you and paying attention to the people that are around you. Everybody remembers, I hope you do, the situation with, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot this guy's name. That's sad. Y'all gonna laugh. Yeah, MC Hammer. Okay. Having his entourage, you know, spending beyond his means as Jake usually does. Alright. Fucking end up broke. That's Jake. Those are the curses. You know, aside from the fact that, you know, people are cheating. You look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is another good example back in the day. How his accountant fucked him over. Alright. You know, but people liked him so much, you know, people sent him shit. Yes, that's that's what happened, you know. So it's like, if you're looking for that, that's again, we're trying to give our people something that's real substance, something that they can't, that this devil can't take away. Let's get another scripture on that. This is why these scriptures are so important. That's why. All right. Let's see. Let's go to Matthew 6. All right. This is Matthew 6:20. But lay up yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Remember, we're in the house of the thief. Alright? Alright? Which just happens to be what? Really the whole world, because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, right? Job 9:24. Alright? So, you see, not supposed to put your faith and trust in these material things, because they're going to be done away with. These things are temporal, as it says in Corinthians. Alright? Might as well get that. Let's see. Is that first or second? Hold on. Let's see. Gotta be second. Salaki. Let's see. Here it is. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. That's what you should be focused on. Remember, I mentioned 2 Peter 3rd chapter earlier on, verses 10 and 11. It tells you that this is the mindset you should be in if you're knowing all this shit. It ain't gonna last. It's gonna be burned the fuck up. Let me read this again. In verse 18, 2 Corinthians 4:18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal. Let's go into that temporal so you'll know just for sure. That's what we do. I don't want to leave you hang in there. All right, Strong's G 4340. Proskyros. Let's just see what they.
Strong's G 4340. Proskyros.
All right, for a season, enduring only for a while, temporary, for the occasion only. Again, for example, temporary. What other scripture did I quote? Oh yeah, 2 Peter 3rd chapter, right? Let's go down to 10. A new heaven and new earth. But the day of the Most High will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High? Yeah, you should be, fuck this. Isaiah 51 and 14, I believe it is. All right. Wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Because this place, this is indeed hell. All right? This is indeed hell. Why would anybody want to stay here? The longer we stay here, that's why Matthew 24 and 22. He's got to come. He's got to speed up the time, or there will be no flesh to be saved. All right? Let's see what else is here.
She talked about her grandfather telling her that in the 1970s, this was told her the story, that I guess a black man in the town got out of pocket in regards to white supremacy, and they did what she described to her. And she also talked about how her grandfather reminded her that black people aren't human. You shouldn't deem them as human. And so she also went on to say that those attitudes are still around, which is why you're seeing a lot of things go on in the South in regards to the way they're legislating, right? So she basically said it's going to take all of us to change those attitudes, and we need to be aware of it, right? Now, I want to say right off the top, I hated that story, but I love that she told the story because it is a reminder to everybody that those things went on in the 1970s. It was not that long ago. I'm 52 years old. I was born in 1971. So I was around then, and I don't care what y'all say, 2 years is not that old. But anyway, I digress. So those attitudes are still among us. Because think about other people outside of her grandfather that taught their grandchildren that you shouldn't see black people as humans, and what we did to that black man was the equivalent of what we will do to a pig, right? Because we know that, especially during slavery, they didn't see our ancestors as people, they saw them as products, right? Or property. And so those attitudes are still going on today, which is why we see a lot of brutality of black people being treated in the worst way possible. Which is also why you'll hear stories of young black teenagers knocking on the door of an unsuspecting white supremacist and being shot. Or how about black men running through neighborhoods and being chased down by white supremacists and murdered. And then, of course, black boys cannot carry cans of iced tea or bags of Skittles because a white supremacist might take it upon himself to do them harm. And so those attitudes are still around. And so, of course, we as black people, we know about those things. We've heard the stories, right? But you hear a lot of deniers, if you will, say, oh, well, that's not going on now. There's no such thing as racism. That was us in the slavery days, and that was so long ago. It's like, no, it wasn't. It's still going on. And there is that woman, and big up to her for telling that story, because I'm sure she's gotten a lot of backlash from her family who would not agree with her telling that story. But
That's it for, I just want to get some comments here, a few. I don't want to take this long, but it says their accusations are just confessions. They say we're violent. They say we're savages. They say we're cannibals. They say we're dirty. Yet their own history has shown literally the opposite. Okay? So that's already said that. That's Job 30th chapter. The wickedness and evilness of these people never ceases to amaze me. Back in 2001, I had a Jake up at the VA tell me he called them evil mites. We say Edomites. He calls them evil mites. All right. Because the evil motherfuckers might do anything. That's why he never really dealt with them. He says, let's see. Says the price they pay will be great. I know it's been talked about, it's coming, but it's coming. The Most High is faithful in his people and his word. All right. It says the evilness of these people never ceases to amaze me. They are not human. All right. That's it. I mean, you get the idea. Goddamn shame, man. Hey, so with that, until the next video, hey, Shalom.